Good morning. Welcome to another session this morning. We shall be continuing our discussion with regards to information systems, organizations, and strategy. So, this will be our third session in this topic. So, on the first topic, we talk about the changing role of information systems in the organizations. Okay, so from purely back office support, and then to now the management information systems in again in support to decision making of managers. Now we're going to study about strategic information systems. All right. On the first session we used the chief information officer as the case, and in the second session we use Zara as the case to demonstrate the relationship between um, information systems and business model. And in today's session, we're going to reinforce that discussion by using the case Otis elevator on what kind of transformation information systems can bring to the organizations. All right, good. So to begin with, information systems and organizations influence one another. I think we have discussed this in our first session. In fact, we introduced two philosophies of technology. We have instrumentalism and we have determinism. And in this slide, in this presentation, we're going to highlight those two philosophies once again. So we're saying information systems and organizations influence one another. So information systems are built by managers to serve the interests of the business firms. Okay, so this is instrumentalism. But the organization must be aware of and open to the influences of information systems to benefit from new technologies. Now, this is now determinism. All right. So in yesterday's case, Zara, we use instrumentalism as basis for decision making with regards to information systems. All right, because the role of information technology in the early 21st century for Zara, it's at the clothing company, is just simply support. Okay, even if the system is down, they could still sell clothes. Even if the system is down, it will not affect their sales. All right. So So the interaction between information technology and organizations is complex and is influenced by many mediating factors like business processes. So in one of our sessions, we're going to study about business processes. We design business processes, we improve business processes, or maybe there's a need to re-engineer business processes. All right. And then culture is also being an influencer in the selection and adoption and implementation of information systems. All right, and on the other hand, it can also information systems can also influence culture, which of course we will see in the case that we're going to discuss. Of course, structure, it can be influenced, and it will be dramatically affected through the use of information systems. So how information system impact organizations? So one, we can see some economic impacts. The transaction cost theory. Okay, so what is this transaction cost theory? Companies and individuals seek to economize on transaction costs, much as they do to production costs. So in our earlier discussions, we said that we wanted to achieve operational excellence. Okay, and operational excellence can be demonstrated using transaction cost theory. So using markets is expensive because of costs such as locating and communicating with distant suppliers, monitoring contract compliance, buying insurance, obtaining information on products, and many others. Okay, so through the use of information technology, especially the use of networks, it can help companies lower the cost of market participation, making it worthwhile for companies to contract with external suppliers instead of using internal sources. So as you can see in the case, okay, Otis Elevator, the company was able to demonstrate that, they have no commitment to any factory. They can shut down any factory anytime, okay, if it is cheaper and it is faster to simply outsource. All right. So this is what we are saying here, transaction cost theory. So Dell computers, for example, outsource their production instead of making their product themselves. Okay, this is what we are saying. If you remember in the past, we talk about the flattening of the organizational structure. This is the theory behind it. So an owner will hire employees to perform work on his or her behalf. Okay, so when the company was small, okay, and you as the entrepreneur, you as the owner, you as the manager, you're also the cashier, you're the salesperson, you do the cleaning, everything. But as your company grow in size and scope, okay, you cannot do everything already, then you start hiring people to do this task that you can no longer perform. So employees need supervision and management, all right? In one of the theories of management, we say that people are lazy, they hate to work, they need to be pushed, they need to be supervised, they need to be motivated, they need to be encouraged. So that's why they need supervision and management. As the company grow in size and scope, agency costs or coordination costs rise because owners must spend more and more effort supervising and managing employees. So imagine for a company like Otis, operating in more than almost 200 countries. You just imagine the cost of supervising and managing employees. So IT can reduce internal management costs. Information technology, information system, by reducing the cost of acquiring and analyzing information, it allows the organization to reduce agency costs because it becomes easier for managers to oversee a greater number of employees. So as you can see, even in the case when Otis Elevator implemented, say for example, Otis Line, okay, it dramatically, shrunk, reduced, okay, and flatten the organizational structure, okay, because of the same reason that was given on the fourth bullet of this slide. IT can also strengthen customer supplier intimacy. Information system develops strong ties and loyalty with customers and suppliers. These strong linkages to customers and suppliers increase switching costs and loyalty to the company. So Chrysler Corporation, for example, uses information systems to facilitate direct access from suppliers to production schedules and even allows suppliers to decide how and when to ship supplies to Chrysler factories. In our previous discussion, we talk about Walmart, we talk about uh, uh, Penny, JC, okay, as examples to this strengthening of customer and supplier intimacy. So this allows suppliers more lead time in producing goods. Okay, so we are actually helping producers or suppliers to manage their production as well. Okay, they're not going to overproduce. They will not also going to underproduce. And one of the organizational impacts that we mentioned earlier is IT flattens organizations. Okay, information systems can reduce the number of levels in an organization by providing managers with information to supervise large number of workers and by giving lower level employees more decision making authority because we have expert systems, decision support systems, executive support systems, management information systems. These are just some of the information systems can actually help, managers perform better or make better decisions. Now, we have to understand organizational resistance to change as well, because we said that information systems can influence, can impact the organization. So information system can affect who does what to whom, when, where, and how in an organization. Many new information systems would require changes in personal, individual routines that can be painful for those involved and require retraining and additional effort that may or may not be compensated. All right. So if you remember when we were discussing Imara Medical Center case, this is exactly the main reason why that IT and IS implementation at Imara Medical Center encountered challenges. Okay. Now, information systems can be used for competitive advantage, competitive strategies, and using Michael Porter's five competitive forces. So we have the customers, suppliers, existing competitors, potential new entrants, and substitute products. And we can have our own strategic objectives. We can attract new customers and lock in present customers by creating switching costs. Could be a strategic objective. Lock in suppliers by creating switching costs. Lock out competitors by locking in customers and suppliers. Or maybe we can create barriers to entry into the industry, make substitution unattractive. Now, the question really is, can we use information systems? Okay, can we use information technologies to achieve exactly these strategic objectives? For example, can we use information system to create barrier to entry into the industry? And of course, that's true. Yes. Okay, by maybe implementing sophisticated technologies, that could be a barrier in itself. Okay, so in terms of cost leadership, we can offer lower prices. Again, as we have discussed early on in the previous slides, the transaction cost theory and the agency theory. If we achieve, if we will lower the costs in transaction and in supervising, and managing people, most uh, uh, most probably we can lower our cost of operation. Therefore, we can extend that to our customers by offering lower prices. Okay. In the same way, we can help suppliers lower their costs, as we have explained earlier, or we can undercut competitors' prices at the same time, providing excellent quality, superior products and services. And make entry investment unattractive because it will not give them enough profitability. Okay. And then make substitution economically unfeasible because again, the customers would be loyal to us. They will be locked in. Okay. So shifting cost is high. So substitute products might be difficult. Okay. And then, of course, we can have differentiation and innovation strategy. So to be strategic today is really to be differentiated, to be different. Okay. And how do we make our products and services different? How do we make our companies different? Well, by providing better quality features and services, or by help suppliers improve their services. Or we can toughen competition with unique features. Or sometimes we can complicate entry decisions or provide better features of substitutes. Okay, that's differentiation strategy. In terms of innovation strategy, we can provide new products and services to new markets. All right. So we can develop unique supply services or alliances with our suppliers. Okay. Say, for example, implementing electronics data interchange could be a technology that we can use to achieve this unique supply services or alliances with our suppliers. We can provide unmatched products and services. Okay. So, for example, if the industry said we need, say, 5 days, then if we can do it in 2 days, okay, with half the manpower, with half the tooling, and half the cost, that would be part of our innovation strategy. We can enter businesses of potential entrants, okay? So we can apply strategies like, from red ocean, we can go to blue ocean, and explore new markets, okay? And then enter businesses of potential entrants. Or we can produce substitutes ourselves, okay? So that now it doesn't, you know, uh, disrupt our existing business model. We can create substitutes. So using information system to achieve competitive advantage. Again, we mentioned about low-cost leadership. Walmart's continuous inventory replenishment system uses sales data captured at the checkout counter to transmit orders to restock merchandise directly to its suppliers, thereby bypassing Walmart's warehouse. The system enables the supermarket to keep costs low while fine-tuning its merchandise to meet customer needs. Product differentiation and customization, manufacturers and retailers are using information systems to create products and services that are customized and personalized to fit the precise specifications of individual customers. As we can see in our previous discussions, we saw that customers are becoming more demanding, and their requirements are becoming more and more sophisticated. Sometimes they change their requirements even in a very unpredictable way. So they want it personalized, customized, and when they want it, how they want it, and where they want it. So that's how demanding customers now. So Google continuously introduces new and unique search services on its website. Dell Computer sells directly to customers using assemble to order manufacturing. So you can actually customize and personalize your computers. So the business value chain model highlights the specific activities in the business where competitive strategies can best be applied and where information systems are most likely to have a strategic impact. Okay. And of course, as we learned in the past, the business value chain is composed of primary activities. These are directly related to the production and distribution of the company's products and services, which will create value for the customer. Okay, so here we have the inbound logistics. We can implement automated warehousing system operations. Okay, for the operations, computer controlled machine systems and for outbound logistics, we can have automated shipment scheduling systems. For sales and marketing, we can use computerized ordering systems. So these are just some of the information systems that can have strategic impact to our value chain. And of course, for support activities, we have administration, HR, technology, and procurement. And say for HR, we can have our own information systems as well. Okay, so we can have the training management information systems, or personnel management information systems. Okay, including procurement information systems and including budget monitoring systems. Now, benchmarking involves comparing the efficiency and effectiveness of our business processes against strict standards and then measuring performance against those standards. Industry best practices are usually identified, but as we have seen in the case, okay, Otis Elevator not do not or does not necessarily benchmark with companies within their industry. In fact, as we have seen in the case, they also benchmark even with companies outside of the industry. For example, in terms of their service, they benchmark with what? Ritz-Carlton Hotel, with Disney. okay, with Southwest Airlines. Okay, and in the logistics part of their business, so they benchmark with pure logistics companies. The value web, the performance of most companies depends not only on what goes on inside a company, but also on how well the company coordinates with direct and indirect suppliers like UPS, FedEx, and customers. All right. So if you have an online business, so you sell goods online, all right. So you would require other value chains like the banking sector of a financial institution to receive payment. All right. You need a logistical company to deliver your items to the destination. So those are three different or two different additional value chains that would be, helping you to be able to, supply or, serve customers. And we achieve this using now the value web or the internet. Okay, so the value web is a collection of independent companies. So as I mentioned, you are an online company, and then you have another financial institution, and then you have a logistical company that use IT to coordinate their value chains to produce a product or service for a market collectively. So companies will accelerate time to market and to customers by optimizing their value web relationships to make quick decisions on who can deliver and required products or services at the right place or the right price and location. All right. So that's the end of our lecture, and that also will culminate or end our discussion about organizations, information systems, and strategy. All right. So in the succeeding discussions and sessions, we're going to use information systems more specifically now in operations. Okay, and towards the end of the semester, we shall be discussing more issues with regards to information systems. So if you have some questions, you can comment below, and we will try to answer those questions.